Hola. Hello and welcome to this new video. Today I wanted to talk about a book, as you already probably know from the intro, but also just from the title, I guess, I hope. So I just sit here because the sun is pretty cold. The sun is slowly going down now. It's January, so it's winter, but I thought I could use the sunlight to film something. But today we are going to talk about The Long Game from Elena Armas. I do not know if I pronounce it right, I hope. But basically she's a Spanish author and she has I think 3 books, but I'm not sure. I have her first novel, so her debut novel, and her second novel. They're both really good, so I would recommend them. So yeah, today we talk about this, and I have different sections that I want to talk about, and that's what we're going to do. So yeah, the first one is, how long did it take me to read this book? I actually, surprisingly, I started this book in the beginning of January, and I just have to say my book count is still 1. I have been starting my second book, but I'm not even finished with the first chapter, I think. Yeah, and it's almost end of January. But who cares? So the 2nd of January, I started this book at 9:20 a.m. and I finished the book on the 13th of January at 8 a.m. Took me like a week or something, or I think a little bit longer. But yeah, I try to always read at night or before school. So that's where it's the time where I read. So yeah. So ranking is 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's not a 5-star read. I think for a 5-star read, it has still potential to go up. I don't know, you have a feeling of 5 stars. It's just I think if you read, you just sometimes know you read a book and you're this is 5 stars. This book was good. It was really good book. I could recommend it totally, but it's just not this feeling of 5 stars. So it's a 4.5, because 4 stars would be less. It's not enough to give. Important to know, this book is a dual POV, so I would recommend this book or the story itself, because there's the interaction between the both main characters. It's so funny. You have it's just the 2 interacting. It's so much fun. It's a kind of an enemy to lovers story, not enemies, but they don't like each other in the beginning. And it's super cute, and then they interact because they're pretty different. It's just it's funny. It's just the first pages, the first pages are a little bit of why, but when you go a little bit further, the first pages and everything, they were already funny scenes because of interactions with the side character from Adeline's best friend. It's just funny. I think there are a lot of funny scenes in the scene, so you're going to laugh, probably, I hope. Or I think what I take from the book is that it's okay to get help from other people and also accept help from other people. Adeline is a person, especially in the beginning, who doesn't really show weakness, and she doesn't want people to help her. She wants to do it all on her own. She's very independent, and she just wants to prove that she can do it alone. And throughout the story, she started to realize, okay, it's okay to accept help, and it's okay to be helpless, and maybe have a different person that you maybe don't even like, but they have maybe an idea. There's also a massive plot twist in the end. I didn't saw it coming, not at all. I was what? No way. I was so surprised. So yeah. Personally, I'm a big fan of Elena's writing style. It's just like easy to read. It's not super complicated. It's just fun. Her characters are always very interesting, and also one of the characters are always like Spanish, like half Spanish or full Spanish, or like there is a part of the family coming from Spain. It's just like so cool because we always get a little bit of like the Spanish vibes in there. It's just like, I think it's a pretty cool thing to do. Next up, we have characters. Let's start with one of the main characters, or who gets introduced the first. It's Adeline. I don't even know her last name. I'm really bad with names in general. I just forget it always. Adeline is a very independent person, and I think she also has a big insecurity. But you don't really like actually see it maybe in the beginning. It's just like, it's sad. Like the interaction with her and her dad is just like, it's sad, it's frustrating. I think when you read it, you're like, oh, why are you like this? It's just like, I don't know. I was a little bit triggered at some parts. It's just like, no. I don't know. Her father was just like, I couldn't sympathize for him at all. Even when like a backstory started, I couldn't. Not a single bit. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I think what we all can learn from Adeline as a person is, first of all, Adeline in this book went through so much. Because something big started in the book, and she went through this. This was like a big thing. It was a big scandal. It was not funny at all. It was a big thing in the media everywhere. And you think, okay, something bad happens to you. You're like, okay, life can only get better. Adeline's life only got worse. So she got sent to this like camp thing, and she needed to train this football, soccer. I don't know the right term, but I think it's soccer, football. And she thought it was like adults, you know, also like men. And then she comes into the city, and it's like a small town, and there are like girls who are like 7 years old. It's like whole chaotic. It's just like the way she arrives, it's just like horrible. And she has to live in this, I don't know what they called it, but like this super small house, like not even house, maybe like, I don't know. And it's like worse. You can't really sleep there. Everything goes wrong in Adeline's life. Like each chapter, it's getting worse. But there are also good parts, but it's just like getting worse. But the good thing on Adeline is just like, you know, normally, or most of the people were like, okay, I'm done. I'm gone, you know. But Adeline is like, okay, I will keep moving. She always stood up or got a different way of approaching this. It's insane. Like, I love this. Like, I think just from Adeline itself, if something bad happens, stand up and keep going. Something bad happens again, stand up and keep going. You can break down, that's okay, but keep going, you know? I think Adeline went through so much because it just got worse and worse. You're like, okay, it can't get worse, or it did. And I think this is so funny. And Ellen, but she's a badass. Like, she went still up and was like, okay, keep going. It's insane. And I love this about her as a character. And I think that's just like such a cool like personality trait. I was like, okay, girl. Like she ooh. Next up we have Cameron. I don't have a lot for Cameron. I'm sorry, I do not remember that much, and I didn't want to reread the whole book. But first of all, as I said, Cameron is British, but is extremely hot and just attractive. Yeah. Cameron is kind of like a cokey part, and he's like a little bit arrogant. Like he thinks a lot about himself, but at the same time he's like very confident in himself. It's like arrogant but also confident. Like it's just like it's a mix out of this. It's just like he's just like, okay, cool. He's actually a star athlete who stopped doing the sport. I think the whole story behind why he stopped is so sad, and it was just like heartbreaking. Like this, it was heartbreaking. Cameron is also a person who just likes to do it the most easiest way as you can. Like, the less effort, the best. That's Cameron. You know, you have to walk towards something. He would wait until the next bus. No. He wouldn't run to the bus to get it. No, he would wait and get the next bus. Even if it's 30 minutes, he would wait. Because he doesn't want to afford this, like, running to this bus. You know, he's like, well, there's going to be another bus. That's Cameron. That's like the vibes that you get from. He's also a very husband material. There's just this one scene where he makes breakfast for Adeline. Oh, he's also so understanding and just so a lovely kind of person. And he has a cat, what I find insane. It's just like, it's cute. It's kind of like, I don't know. He also lives alone. And I think he's older than Adeline, but I'm not sure. Because sometimes I don't get if they're older or younger. It's just like, it's so confusing. Yeah, and at the beginning, like, especially Keeland, he doesn't want to care about Adeline, but he still does. And from time to book, he's like, okay, I care. Damn it, but I care. It's kind of funny. And there's like this book, there's like this one quote, and it says, Adeline thinks Cameron is a surly scrolling brute, and Cameron thinks Adeline needs to take life less seriously. And it's the best description of the both characters and what they kind of think of each other. So next we have a relationship. It's Liam and Cameron. We don't really get to see this relationship. Like, there are not going to be a lot of scenes of them, but it's such a cute romance. It's so cute. It's like this energy of, you know, Liam is like, no, Cameron is like, I hate you, and Liam is like, I love you too. That's relationship. That's like when you give a quote, that's them. They're so, it's just like so interesting. It's hilarious. I don't know. They're only talking on the phone, so it's like it's just like funny. I don't know, because like Liam knows Cameron, and just like Cameron's like, I don't want to do this, and like everything, and Cameron is and Liam is just like, let's go. But yeah, just like the dynamic. And next we have David. I don't even really want to talk about this dude because he's like the worst of the worst. Because he acts so innocent, but he isn't. David is just like not a cool character. He is not, and we don't like him at all. Like, no. But he got a punch from Adeline on page 365. Quote: "Before I could even blink, Adeline threw her free arm out and landed a punch on David's jaw." This was the most satisfying sentence and scene in this book. I was like, finally. You know, sometimes you have characters that you want to punch, and they don't actually get punched, obviously. This was like, okay, David deserved it. This character, he deserved it to 100%. So, that's with David. I don't want to talk about him. No. Next, we have one, like, side character friendship thing. It's Matthew and Adeline. They both are best friends. So basically Matthew is Adeline's only friend. It's kind of sad. But yeah, he's actually really, really good best friend, and he's like a gold. He's very cute. He's very supportive. If I remember right, he's a reporter or a journalist. But Matthew is a very good friend. The only thing is that Adeline kind of forgot about Matthew through the book. Yeah, and suddenly, like, Matthew had problems. He had a problem. But because Adeline and Matthew didn't really were in contact, we don't know what happened. That's the reason why the book also just stopped so abruptly. I was like, that's not the end, right? I don't even know if there's going to be a second book. I don't think there's going to be continuing anything. But this was a little bit sad because Adeline kind of just forgot about Matthew. Matthew was just like gone. This was a little bit sad. But I think like Adeline is also not a person who really shows affection to other people. But it's also pretty sad. Next up, we have as the last character that I kind of want to introduce or talk a little bit is Josie. Josie, my lovely. She is a sunny character, like a positive character. She's kind of like me, but like a little bit more extreme. She's like the small town sunny sunshine flower girl. She's like good energy everywhere. I think she's like, I don't know, you can't say no to her. If Josie asks you something, you would say yes. Even if you don't want to, you say yes. It's insane. I love it. She has so much passion for this town they live in, what they have, like some festivals or some activities. She's so in it. She's also a cupid for the characters couple. So Adeline and Cameron, she's the cupid. She did it. She put these two together. It's so cute. I don't know. Just like Josie's, I think just you want her in your life. Like she has good energy, just like vibing. That's it. I hope you liked it, and I would say we'd see each other in the next video. Bye.